Welcome to another entry in the Review Advent Calendar series, and this time around I'm going to review an A3 song. This is starting to be a tradition in this series of videos. This time around I'm going to review a song by Sakyo Furuichi, voiced by Yuichi Jose, and the song is titled Rojiura wa Itsumo Niwaka Ame. This is a suggestion by Nadia. So it's been a while since I listened to music by the A3 franchise. Actually, the last time that I listened to music from the A3 franchise was for this exact same feature last year. And it's always a treat to find music from this franchise in here, because I do know, especially if it is the autumn troupe, that it is going to sound really, really good. It's music that I enjoy a whole lot. When I was following this franchise closely, this was my favorite troupe. So I'm looking forward to listening to this song. So let's start reviewing it. First off, really, really melancholic. The guitar riffs are being played with some distortion and with reverb on top of them to make it sound even more melancholic or nostalgic if you want. Those are deliberately slow, leaving more than enough space for you to fill in the story or fill in the gaps in the story, and to let Yuichi Jose to kick off his performance and bring in his booming low notes or mid-toned notes. I do love that bass line going on in there. Quite low, really slow, and it enhances in a way that melancholy that is going on in the rest of the song. I love when rock music brings in acoustic guitar, so this is a semi-acoustic type of song that is really used usually for this type of melancholic songs or nostalgic songs. It's really good as well to put a spotlight on the voice instead of the instrumental itself. It is not necessarily aggressive and lets the outpour of emotions be fully in charge by the vocals instead of the instrumental itself. But still, you listen to the acoustic guitars, you notice the sound is quite gentle. It shows a little bit of the personality of the character performing it. It is a character that has a really sweet personality underneath, and those acoustic guitars are a good example of that. It is caring, it is gentle, it is attentive to others, it is caring, and that sound or those characteristics can be felt in those acoustic guitars that in a way represent who the character is at its core. The ruffling in the drums is really, really good. It's really smooth, and you barely notice it if you are paying closer attention to the two guitars that are doing different things, although complementary things. But it is right there at the center stage, and it is ruffling smoothly and slowly to build up some tension for the next chorus. 年を取ったから
もなく思うこんないつもが続けばいいと言い訳ばかりの日々大事にしまってた約束なら無駄じゃないさまた会えるとどこか願ってた路地裏はいつもにわかめもう守り抜くと決めたんだあの日のように
I love how the dynamics change in this song, although not much is changing about the vocals. It's quite interesting that the sound was more contained in the verses, was more muffled, was more intimate in those verses, but then there's an explosion of color that's a showcase of the whole soundscape instead of just a fraction of the story. You are seeing the whole story in the chorus. It's quite interesting how the story opens and how the sound sounds like it is opening to you and giving way to a soundscape that has no end. It's really, really freeing in a way, it is liberating in the other, and it is interesting to see that intimacy that you may have in the verses is still there in the chorus, although it is more out in the open, I should say. It's out in the open. I may be missing a bit of the story in here because I do not follow the story in the A3 franchise for a couple of years, but it sounds to me like something in this tone. You may know it a bit well or a bit better than I do, so I welcome you to actually correct me if I'm wrong in the comments.
身勝手な言葉や思いは今日も伝わらなくていい
Pure love and care in those notes in the acoustic guitar now that we are in this beautiful solo. It really shows a little bit how the character is or who the character is at his core.
傘をささずに歩いた道もう遠くに止んでいたんだまた出会い
That was quite cinematic. You were listening to, it sounds almost like rain or a car approaching in the middle of the rain, and it goes from your left to your right here, and it is really subtle. I was paying attention to that and not to the vocals and the instrumental, so I had to really disconnect myself from those two parts of the song to actually pay attention to that cinematic part that was going on in the background.
路地裏はいつもにわか雨もうそばにいると決めたんだいくつになっても晴れやかな涙の後なら今日も伝わらなくていいきっと虹がかかるから
It really needs an ad-lib in here. I hope there is an ad-lib in this outro. If there isn't, that's a missed opportunity to showcase a little bit of an extra flavor in this song. Well, it feels a little bit underwhelming, that outro. It had the potential to bring in at least an ad-lib before the end, even if it wasn't necessarily something really big. Just a bit of riffing in there would be enough to make that part shine or add a period in that story. Still, I didn't pay close attention to the lyrics this time around, because this time around the music was a winner for me, not necessarily the lyrics. It, of course, has a strong story. I could understand that much, but I wasn't paying attention that closely to the story. Still, what I take from this song is that there is a lot of melancholy in here. There is something that there are things that the character wants to say, can't say, but actually finds the right moment to tell those, to say those, and to be open about those. And you can feel in that chorus how open and happy those that that went on to be. I'm not following the story, so I may have completely missed the mark in my assessment of this song. So do correct me, or do elaborate a little bit about the story in this song so that I can fully understand it, or at least grasp some things in it. But there is a lot of nostalgia. There's melancholy in here. There is that want to tell something to another person. There is a lot of care, and there is a lot of love, and a lot of passion in the character that is performing the song, Sakyo in this case, and that love and care and gentle approach is all towards that specific character. So it can be also a group of characters, and it can be also be about how open the character is now towards all others around him, and how the days are essentially the same but now are even happier. So there's a certain nostalgia, but it is not necessarily the type of sad nostalgia in here. It is a reminiscing of good moments, but it's also a celebration of the new good moments. It is really an awesome entry, and I like the fact that this is starting to be a trend in the review Advent Calendar series to have an A3 song to review. Last year it was a song performed by Tasuku Hatanaka and one performed by Wataru Hatano. This time around was one performed by Yuichi Jose, who I believe has a really awesome voice, who I believe as well that he is extremely underrated, especially as a singer. So it is really good to have an opportunity to put him on the spotlight and put this franchise yet again on the spotlight. Good music, and I'm a sucker, even if I do not follow the franchise as I did back in the day. I still continue to say that the Autumn Troop is my favorite troop in the A3 franchise, and the more I listen to their songs, the more I continue to say that. So it was really fun to listen to this song, so thank you very much, Nadia, for the suggestion. I hope you guys enjoyed this song. Of course, this is quite the nostalgic song. As you may have noticed, many of the songs in this feature, this year especially, are rather nostalgic or melancholic. It is a theme, it seems. Most people like to go this route. But this is a really nice song, and I had a blast listening to it and trying to uncover the story, because by the end of the day, I'm not aware of what is the story behind that song. So it was really fun to review. Let me check the name so that I don't miss. Sakyo Furuichi's Rojiura wa Itsumo Niwaka Ame. This was a suggestion by Nadia. Thank you very much for the suggestion, and thank you very much as well for watching this episode, and I'll see you guys in the next review.